Welcome to Hey Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing a collective Akashic Records reading on the full moon in Sagittarius. The questions that we're going to ask are, what is the overall energy of this full moon? How can we honor it? What story has unfolded since the corresponding new moon in Sagittarius? And if you want to scroll back to watch that new moon in Sagittarius video and compare it, you can do that. What is being illuminated for us? What are we releasing? And what's the most important message we need to know? Let's get into it. What is the overall energy for this full moon in Sagittarius? I'm getting thrilled and like not to be rushed. There's this thrill, this like pulling, this wave, this calling, and it feels like it's coming from like my solar plexus, my like upper stomach into my heart, that like something's pulling me towards it. And it's the same feeling as like unexpectedly seeing a crush or someone you're newly dating that you're really starting to connect with. Just like the surprise of it. So that kind of inner rush, that inner pull towards something, but also not to be rushed. So thrilled not to be rushed. I'm getting like this is a new way of being and a new way of living. And we're like, there's something about the word like staying on it. There's staying power with this, and that's why it's not to be rushed. These are long-term callings. These are long-term things that are pulling at our heartstrings. How can we best honor it? How can we best honor the energy of the full moon in Sagittarius? I'm getting like not to like overindulge. I'm getting like take it like in bite-sized pieces or small chunks. They're like little bite-sized little pieces of it. Like take it in strides, one day at a time, one thing at a time, one taste at a time, like almost like teasing it out. There's something about pulling it out and teasing it out and kind of expanding your time with it in the moments in between. Yeah, I'm just seeing this like teasing out. And because this is something that has like staying power, long lasting, and it's not to be rushed, I'm getting to really expand in the moments in between. Like let them linger. Something's flourishing. I'm getting like not many flowers just pop open overnight. Some of them slowly open, within a day, within a week. Like I'm just seeing like the different times that like almost like a time lapse of different flowers opening. So there's like this flourishing that's happening, and to just take everything one at a time, one day at a time, and to not overindulge. Even on your like fantasies about it, like our visualizations are fantasizing about it, like not getting ahead of ourselves. Like don't worry about that. Lots of like overthinking, future thinking, like don't obsess over that kind of stuff. Like what's to come next, what comes next. I'm getting again to like slow down and tease through the moment and really expand the time in between, the times in between you and this thing or you and this person, you and this experience. Just let it open, like slowly, like slow down the process. I'm getting as much as possible. Because there's aspects of this we can control and aspects of this we can't control, and things just happen naturally. But when we're controlling, it's almost like things happen more unnaturally. When we're trying to force or push, or we rush, I'm getting, or we try and like overindulge or like gobble it up. I'm just getting like, don't waste this. You want to expand the time in between with this. What story has unfolded since the corresponding new moon in Sagittarius? What story has unfolded for us? Something about timing, like understanding timing, like different layers of time. And how, like, many days can feel both very fast and very slow. Like our concept of time, they're just kind of like, oof. Because we've created through like technology a faster environment through technology, it's very sped up. It's not in the cycle of the environment, our physical land, our landscapes, the seasons, the days. Like we are very mismatched with our cycles around time, which is why our concepts of time I'm getting like they're a little funky. And like in a day, it can feel both extremely fast and also things might feel like they're dragging at the same time. And we are able to we're getting an understanding of both. And it's just, some things are faster than others. I just get like, we're almost like throwing the book out around time and time frames and deadlines. What is being illuminated for us? Not to be rushed. And our concepts of time and the lessons that we've learned over time, over the past 6 months throughout this lunation cycle, around, I'm getting like the consequences of rushing things that should have taken more time. So like projects, collaborations, work, relationships, dating, things like that, where we may have sped things up, wanted things to move faster, and how that may have maybe not worked out, or perhaps ruined the thing because we went too fast. So we're learning not to be rushed, kind of regardless of what our modern way of living, our technology, and like thinking things need to happen yesterday, right now, right this moment. Like, I can't wait. Like, this lack of patience, this growing lack of patience backfires. There seems to be like, divine timing is getting stronger to help us remember that time is kind of out of balance anyway. Like, it doesn't really work the way that we have chosen for it to work in civilization. I'm getting how many days have passed, how many weeks have passed, how many hours have passed, how many minutes, seasons, years, like just seeing the cycles and how we are so mismatched with, modern civilization and modern living versus like how our deep soul connections naturally want to unfold. When we're wanting things to be a certain way at a certain time and we rush them, I'm getting like it gets ruined often. Like there's something knowing when something like sweeps you away, when something that is in true alignment just like sucks you in and whisks you away on this whirlwind of some sort of excitement, adventure, or when you lock into like a flow state, or you connect with someone that you're just so meant to be connected with. This, if it happens fast, there is a natural order for some of it to happen fast. So it's like there's natural fast, and then there's our forceful trying to control situations fast. And they're just like, which one are you thinking of in this moment around the things that you maybe wanted to happen? They weren't up to you. You're not ready, or the thing's not ready, or the timing's just not right. So regardless of what you want, control of the timing of something to unfold or come to fruition, at the end of the day, it's not up to you always, right? I feel like sometimes it is, sometimes, some things are, but there is divine timing that's fast, and there's divine timing that's slower. And I'm hearing again, deeper soul connections. And that's the connections of like those we collaborate with, right? Ourselves, our higher selves, our colleagues, coworkers, in relationships, like the divine, like all that we collaborate with and connect with. I'm getting it like it does have its own order, even if it doesn't always look like that. So we have learned lessons around time and how time can feel both very slow or stagnant or stopped and fast at the same time, depending on the areas in your mind that you're thinking about. So it's like some aspects of a day could feel like they drag on, while another aspect of the day feels like it went too fast. So our concept of time has shifted dramatically, and to a point where we are throwing the book out on this concept of time. What does it mean? What does time mean to you? What does it matter to you? And sometimes it matters a lot. And, there are lessons learned in that. And sometimes I'm just getting like divine timing does have an order to it, whether it's fast or slow. So there's a feeling when something is of divine timing versus when you want something to go faster or slower, right? And it's usually our gauge is, do we feel tension? Do we feel tension within ourselves around the thing, around time? What are we releasing under this full moon in Sagittarius? What is being released? Again, concepts of time. Anything else? Our rigid ways of thinking, our overthinking around deadlines and timelines and lifetimes and all this stuff it's our default, but it's conditioning. It's not actually that much a part of the natural world. The natural world follows very different cycles, light and dark, seasons changing, life and death. Those are cycles. That's time. Since we created time, this is a man-made concept. And I'm getting like, it works, like it's worked. It's not like it doesn't. But they're just saying it happens to be man-made, and we forget that because we've been born into so many generations that have adopted this concept, throughout civilization of time. So how fascinating. And they're saying, like, what liberation or freedom might you feel if there was no concept of time? what tension or pressure would release if there was no concept of time. So they want us to practice, even if it's just for a short while, just sitting in the feeling of no concept of time. How old are you? Who cares? What time is it? Who cares? What day is it? Who cares? And they're like, we understand you have schedules, you've got families, you've got work, you've got things and stuff, but like you've got reasons to do it. But sit, like almost give yourself like a meditation on it and just imagine, feel into the expansion of a moment when you lose your concept of time, which is what meditation ultimately does when you really drop into those deep states of being. You lose the state of this conditioning around time because you are embodied. You drop into this pure state of awareness, this state of being. And I'm just getting like a gentle reminder of just like, this is a great time to like find your way back to your meditation practice or find your way to a new meditation practice. And they're like, make it your own, like make it something that fits and works for you. But it's really a good time to do that, to really ground and balance into it. They're like, it's very hard. The world keeps tugging on our brains to like lock in and pay attention. They're like, steal your attention, right? So they're like, guard your attention, guard your inner world, your inner wisdom, your inner life, your inner knowing. And they're like, take it back. They're saying that's a revolution. Saying you can't steal my attention. My attention is my own. And I'm going to allow it to enter this pure state of awareness, this state of being. Okay, what's the most important message we need to know about the full moon in Sagittarius? I'm seeing a clock. And it's interesting because the way it spins, the way the hands go clockwise. And I'm seeing the galaxy and the way the galaxy turns clockwise. I'm getting, it's always time. There's plenty of time. There's always time. There's more time than you think. Then there's more time than you've been conditioned to believe. Even within this lifetime, they're like, man, like this lifetime is just one chapter. It's just one chapter of you. They're saying each life is like short stories compared to the whole book of you. And they're like, we get it, life and death and life and death and life and death. And to cherish every day, every minute of it. But they're like, that's the point. Like, you're not slowing down enough to expand in a moment. And they're like, that thing that pulls you to it, that rush you feel, that thrill, that feeling in your solar plexus and your heart when you unexpectedly see the person you love or your crush. They're like, holy shit, can you imagine expanding that feeling out? They're like, you would just lose your mind at how good that feels, just to expand into that moment. Like, what would that feel like? So they're just like, you really need to slow down. We really need to slow down and expand these moments that feel good and not rush them because maybe they feel too good, or we're scared because it's a little unfamiliar, or we're afraid of like feeling too good. Like, would I lose control of myself if I feel too good? Will I lose myself in this moment if it feels too good? And they said, so what? You should lose control. Lose control when you're in these expanded, joyful moments, or when you're in these pure states of awareness and being where you have like extraordinary vision and extraordinary sensations and extraordinary sensory experiences with the world around you. They're just showing someone like, I don't know, just like opening up like these like sensations or sensory kind of like nerves, like exiting the body, almost expanding out of the body and like connecting with everything around you, people, animals, trees, the air, getting the clouds, the sky, the stars, like this sensory, the sensation, the experience of expanded states of awareness. And they're like, expand your memories. Like, create these memories, hold on to these memories, like create them. Like, how long can you sit in a moment that feels good for you? How long can you just let it be and just ride the roller coaster? Like, it's like, I don't know, they're kind of like, oh, like when you fall in love with somebody, it's like, sometimes it goes from your solar plexus into your heart, into your throat chakra. And like, I don't know, like you're like, oh, like I feel like, not like I'm going to throw up, but it's like almost like, oh, like something wants to come out of me. It's just like, that's what we're afraid of, like what's going to come out of me? How am I going to lose? I'm going to lose myself. I'm going to lose control. And like, these aren't bad ways to lose control. These are good things to get lost in the feeling and the sensation and the experiences of. So make it a practice. Even if there's nothing going on, just create a meditation and sit and just try and sit and walk yourself through the concept of losing time. And what would that feel like for you? And they're just like, again, with this book, the concept of time, closing the book and tossing it out the window. And they're like, you already know on like a much deeper level, like your spirit knows, your soul knows about this concept of time. And they're like laughing at it. Ha ha ha. They're like, divine timing can be both fast and slow. And it feels different. It feels good in your body. It doesn't have the same tension and frustration and rigidity, maybe even aggression, that our need of time, our conditioning around time has created. Okay. So that was the Akashic Records collective reading on the full moon in Sagittarius. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.